Stop it. Stop it. Jeez. You're listening to Jonesy's Jukebox on Cal OS. Thanks for all you guys to show up at the Guitar Centre on Sunset. Do any of you guys work or are you taking the day off?
Does anybody work in California?
Thank you very much for showing up.
There's thousands
Of them out there.
They're all
fighting them off.
They're outside.
Animals.
The police are outside. Everything.
Oh, helicopters. Yeah, well, Todd Rundgren was going to come, and the story goes, I found out last night, so I had to scramble to do something, and apparently he was on a flight coming back from Australia, and his flight got cancelled, so he would have only got here like 5 hours later, which would have been too late for the box. But so I have to make do with these two.
Sadly, sorry.
We're on the bench. First reserves, you know. Turn up.
I feel honoured to be
Guys
summoned.
I can rely on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Real
True
pals.
friendship.
Paul Cook,
Yeah.
right here.
That's it for Mr. Cook.
And Billy Duffy.
Yeah, brother from another mother.
And yeah, here we go. So I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but
Not Todd Rundgren, though.
how you doing?
I'm all right.
How
I can kick it off.
Go on then.
I got the old professionals back together last year, our band from the 80s, and these two played on a couple of tracks together for the first time. We was all on it.
That's
right?
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Is that you never played before on a record, did you two? Have you played on a record before?
Yeah, Billy actually played on my solo record, Fire and Gasoline.
Yes, I did, sir.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want me to tell that story, or should I leave that?
Please.
Shall I tell the story? Okay, so I'm in the studio.
Oh, hold on a sec. Testing 1, 2.
Testing.
I hear feedback. Hello.
So Steve's in the studio making his solo album, and I'm in there and we're hanging out and being friends and whatnot. And he says, "Listen, I've got to go out." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Well, you know, I've got to go out to meet somebody."
Is it safe to say in these days? These times?
In this professional time, you had a date. So we put it that way. I think that's safe to say in these times. He had a date, so he that's how I got to play on his record. I did the guitar solo on his record.
1990, was it? Not 80.
He had a date
80,
with somebody.
89, was that?
Can't remember, yeah, 90 maybe.
When we
I
had the
don't know.
long, when we all both had the long hair,
Oh, yeah.
the Fabio days.
Yeah, it was like two Fabios, wasn't it?
Two Fabios are better than one.
I think you should get that look back, actually. Bring it back.
I don't think I got enough hair.
Oh, you do. You do. Oh, man.
So, me and Mr. Cook, we did a show the other day, a free show at the Roxy. Was anyone there?
Yeah.
What was it? One person, that was it? Yeah. Well, look, there was no other fair way to do it other than a lottery.
Yeah.
We wanted everyone in, but you know, it's a small place. I don't think it was rigged. I don't think it was rigged.
Yeah.
You know, of course, if you don't get in, you feel like you're the one being hard done by. But there was a lot of people who did get in. That you know, got no control over that. But anyway, we might do some more, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounded pretty good.
It was good.
I think we surprised ourselves. Yeah, it was good. It was good fun as well. We actually had some fun, you know.
What did you think the new name should be called?
Oh, not Generation Sex, no. It's gonna be called Geriatric Rex.
Yes.
Copyright Paul Cook, please.
Copyright that name.
Yeah.
Trademark it. With our first single, Incontinent.
You can always depend on us.
Always depend on us.
I'm feeding back here, by the way.
He's feeding
Whoever's
back.
doing this.
Mr. Cook's feeding back.
It's the sheer rock power.
It's that
That's what it is.
powerful
He's got a
voice.
power back, see?
That was a lot of fun, though. I enjoyed that show. Too bad most of you didn't see it. It was good.
I saw it. And I was probably one of the few people who actually saw the Sex Pistols back when you were young men. And
Did
I
you
was
win a lottery?
younger man. Nope. I knew somebody.
Did you see Generation X as well?
I
back
did.
in
I
the
saw
day?
Generation X
Go on,
several
Bruce.
times back in the day in little clubs about the size of the Roxy, and obviously I saw you lot when you
You
were.
saw us at the famous.
I was at the second of the two famous gigs in Manchester. The first one, the Buzzcocks put the gig on, the band the Buzzcocks, but they didn't play. The second one, a month later, they played, and that was the first punk band I ever saw. Was actually the Buzzcocks. Then it was a band called Slaughter and the Dogs, who were mates of ours, and they were from my neighbourhood. And then the Sex Pistols.
Apparently, this is the famous gig where everyone in Manchester
Is there- there's
who went on to form bands. Is that right?
Yeah, that's both of them. Yeah, but well, there was two gigs, and it was all like the guys from New Order and
Morrissey?
Morrissey was there. It was just a bunch of everybody who was in a Manchester band in that era was pretty much at it. We were quick on the uptake with
Yeah.
punk in Manchester.
Yeah.
We really were.
Well,
right into
we
it.
did that show there with the guy Wilson. What's his name?
So it goes. Yeah.
Wasn't that in Manchester?
Tony Wilson. Yeah.
Tony
yeah.
Wilson. He put us on really early.
Yeah, well, the thing about Tony Wilson, he ended up running the factory, and probably wasn't the best businessman. But there's movies been made about it, 24-hour Party People and stuff that are quite good films, if you're interested. But he used to put on people like Johnny Thunders and Iggy Pop, and the Sex Pistols were on like TV. So I'm sitting at home with my mum and dad, and seeing these, in the mid-70s, it was kind of outrageous. There's footage on the YouTube. Johnny Thunders was very dry in his interview about
Yeah.
Malcolm McLaren. It's
He
very
didn't have
funny.
any good words.
He was
I
funny.
don't know anyone who has good words about Malcolm McLaren.
It was just funny, very cryptic. But it was mind-blowing for us growing up there to see all these people that we just idolised. And, of course, the only way you could really find out about people was either go and see them in a concert or read about them in the music papers. There was no social media. There was nothing. So it was interesting. It was just an interesting time. And so to see them and Generation X play
Yeah.
together, my two favourite punk bands.
How
Red.
was it the other night?
It was good. You should rehearse a bit more.
Yeah.
A little
We
bit.
need to go hiking a bit more.
You just hurt my feelings.
You're feeling.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little overweight still, but I was exhausted.
I was going to.
I'm still exhausted.
My way was great, but I was literally going to call. I was about 911. I thought you were going to have an
Yeah,
heart
that was
attack.
It was tough. It was.
On the chugs on my way, it was brilliant. I was like,
well,
he's
when I-
going down.
We went off after the last song, and we were going to come back on to do My Way. And
His legs went.
what a mistake I made is when we come off, there's stairs in the Roxy. The mistake I made was going up the stairs. I couldn't come back down. My legs bloody seized up. It was the weirdest thing.
Well, I think in the Roxy now, because all the bands are getting on a bit, they should get one of those mobile, those staircase things.
yeah,
A
'Cause
chair
there's a lot of old bands
it
now.
was
Like they need.
well, that would go with the geriatric thing. That's like we could sell them.
Yeah.
What do they call them? You go up the side on stairs. What was it called?
Well,
It's like a mobility. The word
chairlift,
mobility is
yeah.
in it somewhere, right?
mobile staircase.
I mean, we're not that old.
No, it'd be all right.
You're in good shape, Mr. Cook.
We'll get it together. Yeah.
I'm the one. I'm the weak link as far as being in shape, for sure. But that's something I can fix. I can fix my
Yeah.
hair and my weight. Don't get too excited. We're going to play some music right now. We're going to play Silly Thing. Is it the one with Mr. Cook singing?
Yes.
This was on the Rock and Roll Swindle. We're here with Paul Thomas Cook and Billy Duffy. We were at the Guitar Centre live.
Yes.
And 95.5 KLOS, take it away.
You slag. Of course.
Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS. It is 12:32. We're in the Guitar Centre live.
Yeah.
And we're in Joe Bonamassa bedroom.
Hey! That's funny.
He owns all of these.
You know what?
We're here with Paul Cook and Billy. Last time you were on, I said you were Sir Paul Thomas Cook.
Yeah.
Huh? What are you doing now?
Madam.
It's on the
Step
phone.
away from
you
the
know
phone.
Henry? No, you don't know Henry. He's being funny. He's making out he's on the phone.
Ah.
I bet
It's
it
not
don't
switched
even
on,
work.
is it? It's not even switched on.
No. Anyway, some people thought you really were a sir.
Really?
Yeah, when I posted that you were Sir
I
Paul
like it.
Thomas Cook.
That's right. I like that. I
They're
like
like, how comes he's a sir and you're not? How comes he's been knighted?
it. It's got a ring about it, though.
I
Don't you
like
think?
it.
Sir Paul Thomas Cook.
What would you do if the Queen called you up and said, we want to knight you? What would you do? Would you go down there
She'd probably want to. They do it with a sword.
with, with the old sword?
Probably might chop your head off though. If she,
Oh, she
depends
got-
what mood. Depends what mood she was in. If she had that thunderous look on her face, you know you're in trouble. You know what I mean?
How old is she? 100?
She's 88, 90.
90?
Yeah, still going strong. God bless her.
Yeah.
Wow. They all live a long time, don't they, royalty? They must
Yeah.
have special
Oh,
doctors.
cool. Yeah, I think they get well looked after. Yeah.
Best of care, I would imagine.
With the finest of care.
Finest of
I
care.
don't think they have to go down the local NHS hospital. When they,
No,
when they got,
What do they do if they get a cut? Where do they get blue blood from?
Boom.
Bang, bang.
Hey, wipe out.
I always wondered. This is what I do at night.
They
Think
get them
about
off
things like this.
other royal families.
Yeah.
Have you heard about a bloke called David Icke? It used
Yes,
to be.
the
Used to be a
lizard.
yeah, he thinks that.
He was a football player
He was.
back
He
in
was
the
a
day.
goalkeeper for Coventry City.
Yeah.
And a lot of his predictions about stuff. I was watching him recently with my girlfriend. Just a very interesting chap. The best thing about him was he was a goalkeeper for Coventry City. If he was just some spiritual guy in flowing robes,
Yeah.
it'd turn me off with all his predictions about doom and gloom. But it's
they-
interesting.
Didn't he go on to be like a pundit too?
Yeah, he's a big speaker. People laugh at him a lot. He's just an interesting
So where
cat.
did he go from pundits about football to like?
Oh, no, he wasn't a pundit. No, he had these theories back in the 90s,
Oh,
a
even
lot of
back
which
then?
came true.
yeah,
You know, everybody laughed at him at the time, and actually a lot of what he predicted came true.
Did
A
it?
lot of
Like-
nasty
like
world
what?
events.
Like
Would you
what?
call him
9/11, stuff like that.
Would you call him a conspiracy theorist?
Very much so.
But it's
So
even-
much
it's
so he
even-
believes that the royal families of the world
Are lizards.
are actually a lizard species. And yeah, that's what people laughed at. That was the reaction he
may
got in
laugh, you may
1991.
laugh.
However, and I laughed the same. However, there's a lot of other stuff he said that's actually come true. And that's what's the weird part about it. And the best bit is, he's got a kid who's like a goalie. He has this very normal side to him, and then his sort of bizarre life. So, in terms of the royal family, I suppose, you know, it's
Where'd
a
you-
theory, isn't it? I mean,
No, I mean, there's all sorts of things that go on you don't know about.
well, the
but-
British royal family, they're German
Yeah.
and Greek, right?
Yeah.
Phil the Greek,
Yeah.
the king is Greek, the queen is German, and the Windsor was a name they picked off a castle, you know, that was somewhere.
And the Russians.
It's not even like their real name. I don't even know what they are. So
they
the
weren't.
British royal family, you go and see the queen that we're saving. Their bloodline is Greek and German.
It's a small bloodline. It's only a few of them, or from Russia,
Yeah.
Sweden, England.
They all,
God bless.
all
It's good for
connected.
tourism. It's great. You've got a good run out of it too.
they all stick together. Anyway, enough about
Yeah, enough about that.
Enough
Let's
about
let's
them.
solve this feedback.
Lizards.
Lizards.
lizards. Enough about lizards.
Reptilians.
We're going to start looking like lizards soon.
Oh yeah.
I do already. Which I mean,
Thoroughly
Oh,
moisturised.
man. Is this interesting to you people in the audience? Thank you.
well, if it isn't, we could always talk about the situation in the Middle East and you know, if you like.
Oh yeah.
That'll really bore you.
Don't want to get too heavy. We're trying to lift people up, not bring them down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna play some songs anyway?
When today?
Yeah.
Are we going to play
Yeah.
some songs? Yeah, I don't know what we're doing. We just have a jam.
But
Yeah. I really appreciate all you people coming, honestly. We might sound like we're just clowning around and ignoring that you're here, but I really appreciate you coming. I really do. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Give yourself a round of applause.
We're gonna play Generation X right now. Kiss Me Deadly. Jonesy's Jukebox, KLOS with my guest Sir Paul Thomas Cook and William Duffy. Take it away. Thank you, thank you. Jonesy's Jukebox, Carla West, with my guest, Sir Paul Thomas Cook,
Hello.
Hey, up.
and William Duffy
Yes, thank you.
from the north.
From up north.
Up north.
Up north.
And joining us is Fred Armiston.
Hello.
From out east. Back east.
How you doing, Fred?
I'm doing good. I loved seeing you guys play the other night. That was incredible. What a
See,
show.
he was there.
What
There
a
he was.
show.
Of course. He won the lottery.
Did you think we was out of shape? Or I was out of shape?
No, you are.
did.
Oh.
Who did? Who said so?
William.
No, you can be on it. You can be on
I
it.
just thought I was going to call the paramedics my way.
No.
Oh,
Oh, it was
Vic-
so. Were you at the show?
Yeah, I was there, yeah.
So good.
Oh, no, it was great. It wasn't the goodness. It was more of a medical issue, I
The
thought.
fitness, I think,
Fitness.
is what he's referring
Fitness
to.
coach.
Yeah.
Lifestyle
I'm
coach.
getting there, I'm getting there.
But to hear those Swindle songs, unbelievable. I never
Yeah.
ever thought I would get to hear those live.
That's, you know, that's the first time they've ever been played live by
We
us
never-
anyway.
We never played them ever anywhere.
Aside from recording them,
That was the only
Yeah.
time we ever played them.
was it easy to remember, or did you have to listen to the record?
Well, he kept messing it up.
They're pretty straightforward songs. They're not like complicated.
Great Rock and Roll Swindle. That song is so
Really?
good.
Yeah.
It's great.
Thank you.
It is.
Come on.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
It's just great.
I remember you. I remember you. Who sang that song? I'll give you $5
Frank
right now.
Highfield.
No, not you.
Oh, sorry.
Someone in the
Frank.
audience. No. He just said it.
I just
They
gave you the
listened.
answer.
Frank Highfield.
No, but that wasn't.
Turn your phone
That
on.
wasn't the original. Frank
Well, that's who
Highfield.
had the hit, Frank Highfield. He was an Australian guy who used to yodel. That was part of his shtick. He would yodel in his singing. No one gives
They
two
wouldn't know.
tosses.
He was only popular in the UK. I don't think he had.
Yeah, I don't think he made it in Australia, did he?
He was massive in England.
Yeah, yeah.
He must have been a criminal. He was from Australia.
It was a Commonwealth thing.
Yes, he wasn't from royalty. Listen,
Yes. Yes, Steve.
don't rush me.
All right.
Now I forgot what I was going to say. Fred.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes!
when we first met.
When we first met, thank you.
Yeah.
I was in Whole Foods
Yeah.
in the valley on Coldwater Canyon
Yeah.
10 years ago, 15.
That sounds about right.
I was in there. I remember one night I'm in the produce getting me avocados or whatever, and he was in there and he come up to me and he says, "Hey man," no, he didn't say "Hey man," he said, "Hey, I'm a big fan." And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Yeah." I said, "I don't like Nevermind the Bollocks, but I love the Great Rock and Roll Swindle."
Well, it's just
Something like that.
Yeah, I love Nevermind the Bollocks. It was more that my exposure to the Sex Pistols was Swindle. That was, for some reason, on Long Island, that was the record we had. That was the one that we knew as the Sex Pistols, and then I went backwards to hear Bollocks.
Well, you were when Bollocks come out, you were probably too young, 14. Well, that's not
Something
too young.
in there, yeah. What year did it come out? 79, 78?
In America, 78, I believe, somewhere like that.
I think we got
probably.
it like 1981 or something, 1980, 81.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was the band. You know, the cover where the guys are puking and everyone's, you
Yeah.
know, that cartoon. That's what I thought the band was. Like, look at this great band. They look insane. And there were so many songs on that record. I loved it. But that was, I remember I met you at Whole Foods and you were looking, I was like, are you looking for soy milk? You're like, no, almond milk.
Almond milk.
Looking for that. But the first time I really met you was like in 1983. You were playing with a band called Kraut on Long Island. You guys opened up for Psychedelic Furs, and I just met you for a second.
I was nice to you, though, right?
You were very nice to me, yeah.
Was that the Professionals you're talking?
No, that was
he
after
just-
the Professionals. That's after we broke up.
Oh, okay.
And I stayed in, I decided not to go back to England and lived in New York. And I was keep sleeping on people's couches and sold my passport.
And you've been here ever since.
And I was just going to shows.
And it was on the news that Paul was just in a car accident. So just to make conversation, I was just like, "How's Paul Cook doing?"
What did I say?
I said, I don't know.
Ah, who cares?
Were you
He was a mess for a while, wasn't he? About a year.
It's bashed up a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
after the car crash, yeah.
How are you doing now? You doing better since
It's
then?
been a while, yeah.
Still get,
Since 83?
still get the headaches, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually does get headaches. It's part of the geriatric thing.
God, Paul, you sounded so good the other night. That was incredible, hearing all those
No,
songs.
it's interesting that you was brought up with the Swindle stuff, because we kind of dissed that a little bit, being in the band, didn't we? Because it was like the film soundtrack, and it was all over by then.
We'd broken up
Yeah.
when we did the Swindle. It wasn't a band
And
anymore.
so we kind of, look at it in a different light to you guys, which is going. But it was great playing them songs, because we, like I say, we have never played them before.
You was in a punk band. You was a punk drummer, weren't you?
Yeah, I was punk rock all the way. You know, all the way.
I saw a picture of you with a mohawk.
Yeah.
And you look like you're 12.
That's
Yeah.
great. We can talk after the show. We can go out for hours and talk about drums and cymbals if you like.
God.
Yes, we can go through the drum section here.
We are in the guitar
My
centre.
favourite thing.
Yeah.
How many guitars you got, by the way? We're surrounded. If anyone don't know it at home listening, we're surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of guitars. I was just wondering how many you and Billy have between you.
Me, I don't know. I have about 15. Not a lot compared to Joe Bonamassa.
What about Mr. Duffy? How many you got?
William,
Mr. Duffy doesn't know how many he's got, but I would say not as many as you think, but more than I need. I don't honestly know.
That's very vague.
Yeah,
But I can
well, they're in a lockup mostly.
well, that's it. That's what I wanted to make very clear. I don't have any at my house.
Yeah, just to make that very clear, I only keep one guitar in my house at a time because it's not safe. There are thieves in the world. So basically, I go every so often, I'll go and get a different guitar for my secure 24-hour Stalag and get a guitar and have it at home and play and hopefully get a new song out of it. But which is something that's interesting.
I had a
about
bit of a
guitars.
reputation as being a tea leaf when I was younger. A thief, just to make.
Yes.
And
Light-fingered, I believe.
very light-fingered.
Yeah.
Helped myself a lot.
Yes.
And I'm not proud of it. It's just the way it was. But what that has taught me, because I was that guy, like when we played the Roxy, I'm making sure we had our room was secure and the guitar guy had them locked away, because I know how I think. You know, I still can't shake that out of my head. I don't steal anymore, but I like to prevent.
You just steal riffs, don't you?
I steal a lot of guitar riffs. Everyone does, though. Show
Indeed.
me one guitar player who hasn't stealed a riff.
Oh,
He's a pain in the arse, this guy.
He must have stolen from somewhere. He must have gotten the
Yeah.
idea somewhere.
CD.
He must have, yeah, I guess
Blues
so.
from the blues. Right? Have you got a drum? Have you got a drum kit, Fred? You got? a drum
I do
kit?
have one here, yeah.
You got your own kit. Yeah?
I got my own kit.
Just the one. though. I've only got one. Yeah, we're talking about.
When we come back, we're going to do a little
As
bit
far
of
as
jamming.
sleeping.
We'll
Did
talk
you say
about, we're going to
drums?
talk about
We're
drum.
going to
What
visit
kind
the
of
Duke
wood are
right
they
now.
made out of?
Visiting the Duke, Jonesy's Jukebox, Cal OS, with my guest, Sir Paul Thomas Cook, William Duffy, and Fred Armisen.
Jonesy.
That's funny. Jonesy's Jukebox, Cal OS, live at the Guitar Centre and on Sunset Boulevard with a lot of people in the audience.
Yes.
Thank you for all coming again. I can't say it enough. Are there anyone in the audience? I love that. The ooh, ooh, ooh bit.
Monkey noise.
We're here with Sir Paul Thomas Cook, drummer extraordinaire. From the Sex Pistols and the Professionals. Then we have Sir William Duffy from the North.
Yes, up and off. Thank you.
From the Cult.
Thank you.
And then there's Fred.
That's right. Weren't you guys in the Fabulous Stains too? Isn't that another?
He was in the Fabulous Stains.
No, that was the girl band. We was the Looters.
We were the Looters.
Oh, that's
We were the
right.
Looters.
You ever see that movie?
Have I seen that movie many times?
I bet no one else has seen it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Two dudes there.
I tell you who has seen it. I tell you who's a big fan of that. Pat Smear. He turned up the other night.
He was
didn't
there, yeah.
And he loved it. He keeps watching the film. He said, I don't know why. He just keeps talking about it.
Well, for many years it never ever got released. It kind of Paramount did it, and they thought at the time it wasn't sellable. It's kind of culty. I can see why it wouldn't have
Yeah.
been released. But then 20 years later, it got put on a DVD, and you can get it now. It's pretty good if you like cult movies.
Paul
Ladies
Simonon
and
on
gentlemen.
bass. Right, Paul?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Fabulous Stains. Yeah, Paul Sim. We had a band. We were a band. It was Paul, Sir Paul, not the McCartney one. Sir Paul Thomas Cook. I've got to get it right because you get confused with Paul McCartney.
Yeah, all the time. All the time. All the time.
There's me, Steve Jones, Paul Simonon, the bass player from The Clash, and the actor Ray Winston. Because none of us could act, and he could act, and he got the part because he was the guy in Quadrophenia. Do you know Ray Winston? He's a great actor. So we was the band, and then the girl band, which was pretty much what the movie was about, was Diane Lane, Laura Dern, and another girl. I can't. Oh gosh, I hope she's not listening. What was the other bird's name?
I don't remember.
Anyway, and then there was the what would you call it? The hippie band?
The Tubes were in it, weren't
Yeah,
The
but
Tubes,
it was a hippie band called something Corpses.
were they?
They were called. Anyway, it was Fee Waybill from the Tubes. He was the hippie band with the keyboard player Vince, and we were all. Huh? Black Randy. He was in it for 10 minutes too. But and we was all driving around on a bus supposedly on the road, and it was a kind of good story.
Where did you guys shoot it?
We did it in Vancouver because they wanted it to look like there was a lot of rain. It was supposed to be like Pittsburgh or somewhere, and they wanted the rain thing. Plus, it was probably cheaper to do in Vancouver.
Yeah, so we had to spend about 2 months
We
in
was there,
Vancouver, which was
Out of my
that
tree.
that was good fun. You was having a good time.
Out of my tree.
Steve was having a great time.
We got there, man, and I was a mess. I was
Oh God.
a heroin, just methadone. I'm like, oh, no problem. I'll go to Canada. It'd be easy to get drugs there. I couldn't get anything, so I had to go through cold turkey, and the only way I could deal with it was just being blind drunk, day in, day out. That was the only way I could deal with it. I didn't know anyone there. So after about a month, I started feeling a little bit normal, but it was fun once the ball was rolling.
Blind drunk every day. What's
Yeah.
that like? That's all right.
It was okay. It was rock and roll, man. It's what you do. And it, Fred?
Yeah.
Well, she was kind of, Diane Lane's mum was kind of living vicariously through it. That's the image I got. I have no idea. I could be completely wrong. I was kicking methadone. I probably never met Diane Lane's mum. I don't even know. But it was fun.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. Great songs.
Yeah. Lou Adler was the director, and a guy called Joe Roth was a producer at the time. He went on to be a big shot. There was a few other actors that went on to be.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so bored of talking about it.
Anyway, yeah. Let's move on.
Thanks,
talk
Fred.
about guitars.
I walked you down memory lane.
You did. You got anything going on? You did another one of your shows in England, right? The drum thing.
Yeah, the stand up for drummers where I do just comedy, just only for drummers.
Yeah.
And I went to London. I went to Foot's Drum Shop there, and I just wanted to do something in England. I never get to do anything there, so I loved it.
I tried to hook you up with Paul.
I
You
missed
did? No, he was-
Yeah,
but-
I know. Good Fred, like flying the flag for the poor old drummer at the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
Best
on
part of
you.
the band.
Yeah.
Do you
Well,
feel-
you're only as good as your drummer. they
That's
say.
right.
You are.
right?
That is never a truer
that right?
word.
Is it
You
right? Yeah.
never a
Yeah,
truer
right.
word.
Yeah,
If your drummer sucks, you all suck.
agreed.
You
Yeah,
can have a bad guitar player,
yeah.
But if that beat ain't cooking it, it's rubbish.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
True word, true that.
You must be all drummers or something. Huh? But
Look at all these guitars. Do people buy this many
I
guitars?
don't know if they buy
Joe
anything.
Bonamassa does.
Do you know, Fred, you're welcome. Do you know any drummer jokes? You must do. Come on.
What do you call someone who hangs out with a drummer?
What?
A musician.
Musician. I heard one the other day. It's quite good.
Go on.
A little girl told me it. Do you hear about the drummer who had triplets? And he didn't know what to call them, so he called them and a 1, and a 2, and a 3.
He was so proud of that joke.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad.
You're a comedian. Come on.
Well, I've got to do the entertaining. You're the entertainer. This is your show.
You're the
No,
comedian.
entertain me.
All right. I'll do. Let's see. Maybe I'll do some impressions of people who've been on your show. I think Ace Frehley. I think Paul Stanley. I saw Paul Stanley on your show because I watch your show on YouTube. I love watching the interviews, and Paul Stanley likes talking about making it big, bigger than any band in the world. And Ace Frehley's kind of like this. I don't know. And when you're on, you know, I don't know.
All right.
What we're doing now?
I've still got feet.
What am I doing now? I like your pauses in between when you're interviewing someone. I like when you're searching for what we doing now. Was that the first time you've ever been on stage? Was that your first?
Silence is
Thank
golden,
you.
Freddie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Should we jam a little? We have no idea what we're doing, but you know what's new, right?
We're not known for jamming, though, are we? Us punk
So,
rockers.
you got your little box here, Fred. William has a guitar.
I do have a
I have a guitar. What's Mr.
I'm just listening.
Sir Paul Thomas
hum
Cook gonna
along.
do?
What are you going to play? What are you
I
playing?
don't know. I don't know.
You better make up your mind.
You do backing vocals,
All right.
even if there's no singing.
All right.
Well, you gotta.
Any
you gotta pick a
requests?
song.
Maybe someone has a
Yeah.
request.
You got any songs, Fred? You want to sing?
It's in crazy timing. There's about 10 different parts to it.
Oh.
It's similar to Carry On, My Wayward Son.
It's called "Kiss Me Deadly."
Oh my God. There's so many parts in that song.
Yeah.
The animals are getting restless. We got to come up with something.
What do you guys like? Do you have a request? Lonely Boy.
I just don't remember the word. I'm terrible with remembering words. I'm sorry.
We could do an instrumental version.
They can all sing along. I'll help you out with the words. I know.
Oh, yeah,
We
Mr.
do Black Leather. That's easy. You got no.
Or
Black
what
leather,
about doing Silly Thing?
No,
Oh, yeah.
Look.
you just played it on the radio. You don't want to hear it. Just played it.
Yeah, but they didn't hear it live with you singing.
Go on.
I'll help you.
You sing.
Do you know it, Bill?
You will make my son. I'll play it.
We don't have to play it. You know, we'll just do it.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
What you see, you
Can't get
nothing's free.
nothing said
Don't be fooled.
by the signs. Don't read in between the lines. What you gonna say? What you gonna do? Now you've missed out once again, but I thought you knew. Oh, you silly thing, you're really gonna done it now. Oh, you silly thing, you're really gonna done it now. Trouble here, trouble there. People stop just to stare. What's the use in wasting time? Just move on, leave them all behind. What you gonna say? What you gonna do? Now you've missed
thing. You're really gonna done it now.
Oh, you silly thing, nothing but trouble that you bring. One of these days you're gonna die, and people will say, oh my, oh my. People will say, oh my, oh my. Take it, Billy.
Oh, you silly thing. You're really gonna done it now. Oh, you silly thing. You're really gonna done it now. Oh, you silly thing. You're really gonna done it now. Oh, you silly thing. You're really gonna done it now.
Where you going? Where you going, man? It wasn't that bad, was it? Okay, buddy. Thanks for coming.
God bless.
Thanks for coming.
There you go.
Not bad.
We're going to play a song right now. I've got to recover on my heart's. I need me meds after that.
Yeah.
All that action. Jones's Jukebox, KLOS, Guitar Centre on Sunset, with my guest, Sir Paul Thomas Cook. William Duffy from the north.
Yeah, thank you.
Fred Armisen.
From the east.
Thank you.
All together.
1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Jones's Jukebox, KLOS, live from the Guitar Centre on Sunset with my guests, Sir Paul Thomas Cook, Billy Duffy,
Hello.
and Fred Armisen.
Hello, yeah.
That last song that we played, Fred, that was from a documentary.
Yeah.
What was it? What do they call them? It's kind of acting, but
A
it's not-
mockumentary.
A mockumentary.
That's from a
Wow.
show called Documentary Now, and it was a fake 70s band called the Blue Jean Committee.
And it was based on yacht rock.
Yeah, yacht rock, that sort of easygoing, soft, easygoing
Yeah.
rock.
Which I love.
It is
I
great.
really love that music.
Yeah, that band America sounds great.
Yeah.
Still, they always.
Who would you put down as the #1 yacht rock band?
For me,
Christopher Cross. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Seals and Crofts. You know that song,
What was the song?
"Summer Breeze Makes Me Feel Fine."
The Isley Brothers had a big hit with Isley Brothers.
But Pablo Cruz, yeah.
I'll tell you my all-time, got to be at the top of the list is, what's their bloody names? No, I'm
I'll
not.
never forget him.
Ventura Highway.
No. Oh, man, I can't believe it.
Well, what's the
What's
song?
the band that I... No, close. Steely Dan.
How can you forget Steely Dan? How can you forget
to me,
Steely
that
Dan?
was the mecca of yacht rock. Real musicians. Very, you know.
Very
I'm with Fred. America. I love America.
They're
I thought
great.
Ventura Highway, Sandman, Horse with No Name.
There you go.
Oh,
It
Tin
was-
Man. That's a great one.
Tin
Yeah.
Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great.
They came on the box when I first started at KLOS.
Whom?
Daisy Jane.
America.
Oh, yeah.
They were on.
I loved that band.
Ventura Highway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, anyway,
yeah.
we're
Anyone
digressing
else?
a little bit now.
What are you up to, William? You doing any more gigs?
No gigs this year. We've reached our maximum
Yeah.
of allowable live performances per calendar year, as per the union rules. So we're off. So I'm trying to hopefully come up with some exciting new rock and roll music
Yeah.
for next year. And then we'll probably play again next year. It's what we do.
Yeah.
Don't really know how to do much else, really.
Yeah.
It just brings me the same degree of satisfaction and gainful employment.
Yeah.
So we'll be at it.
Do you live here?
Yeah, live up the street. I'm trying to spend more time in the UK, actually, now that global warming has created a microclimate in the UK. I might actually go back because,
It's warmer, sunnier.
yeah, and the traffic's doing my head in here.
Well,
I've got
you
about-
think London's better?
No, London.
Traffic-wise?
London.
Yeah.
Oh, where did you say?
Hey, England.
Hey, man,
I'm
sorry.
from up north.
Like Stonehenge or somewhere?
Yes. I want to live in Stonehenge. Any henge will do. There's
Any
about
henge.
5,000 henges.
I like hearing you guys doing American accents.
Really?
Oh,
That's great, Fred.
Come on.
You know,
Thank you.
Fred, I've got to
Come
point
on.
out, your Jonesy is actually Mick Jagger.
Yeah,
oh
get it
wow!
right.
And
I got to get it right.
I'm going to say that because out of all of, I might be wrong, I've actually played with Mick Jagger. Not a lot of people know that.
I didn't know that.
Yep, I'll reveal that for you.
Please
Jonesy.
tell us the story, Billy.
Many years ago, in London, England, in a place called John Henry's, Mick Jagger was auditioning musicians for his solo album called Primitive Cool.
Oh, yeah.
And at the time, I was a young up-and-coming lad, and he wanted a young guitar player. I went in, had the big pompadour, big white falcon, had my roadie, walked in the room, turned around, Jeff Beck's there. I'm like, so, uh-oh. So the cult had only been going 3 years. I mean, you know what I mean? We were like a bar band, really. Mick Jagger's there, and they went, okay, we're going to play the first song on the cassette now, Billy. And I went, what cassette? So in front of Jeff Beck, Omar Hakim was the drummer. They were auditioning a bass player and a keyboard player. And Jeff Beck was standing there looking at me with that look of like, who is this idiot?
Yeah.
With the big white gretsch, the massive white pompadour, full in my drinking, partying, pirate phase with the Colt. And I went in. Mick Jagger was the nicest guy in the world. I've got to say, he was very gentlemanly. It was a typical thing. My manager was his press agent, and I got the gig because of that. I got to try out for the gig, and I failed miserably because I didn't know any of the songs, and it was an embarrassing day. But we did Miss You. That I got to play a couple of Stones songs, and the problem with that is, if any of you guys here, I presume a lot of you are musicians and some of you are drummers, but that Miss You has 2 guitar parts. So Mick Jagger's playing one on his Strat because he likes to play, and Jeff Beck's playing the other part, and I'm a bit worried what my bit would be. And Jeff Beck, and the other funny thing was Jeff Beck kept turning his amp up just a little bit more. Just like, because I must have been annoying him so much. I can only imagine how bad that was.
No pressure then.
No. I felt great, very comfortable with one of the best guitarists in the world.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Do you rate him as a guitar player, Jeff Beck?
Yeah, of course. He's a legend. You can't really. He's in the legend bracket, really.
Yeah.
He's beyond
Yeah.
my critique.
I agree. There's like Steve Jones, there's Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yes. And Mick Jagger. He's my other guitar hero. A minor all day
Jimi
long.
Hendrix, Steve Jones, Jeff Beck. Yeah, baby.
I mean, I do know it.
He is a gentleman, though. What is it? What key is it?
He's like A minor. He's got like a disco beat to it.
And the lyrics are just doobie 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 doo. I'm waiting all along.
Yeah.
Girl, I miss you. That's my Mick Jagger. Better than yours. Okay, that was that song.
So that was Miss You, in essence. True story. Absolute true story. Go on, Fred.
He actually is in very good shape, Mick Jagger. He's always been in good shape.
Yeah, I've seen more fat on a chip.
On a butcher's apron.
Yep. Runs 5 miles every day before a tour, and then about 3 miles on stage.
Yeah, he's
Impressive.
one of them lucky blokes, though, man. He could eat. He's like Iggy Pop. They make me sick, these guys. They can eat anything and never gain a pound. Me, I get fat from breathing. Bleeding nightmare. Okay, we're going to knock it on the head soon. Should we do one more jam?
One more jam, yeah.
So for all you Todd Rundgren fans out there, we're going to do an early Todd Rundgren song.
Yeah.
He's being facetious.
That was yeah.
I mean-
you'll know why in a minute.
We'll have to learn that one. He's pretty complex and stuff, but I love Todd Rundgren. It's too bad. But you know what? I'm well happy with these three as opposed to Todd Rundgren.
We do what we can.
Take it away.
So we're gonna do No Fun.
Yeah.
Can I count it in? Can I count it in? A 1 and a 2 and a 3.
No fun, my babe. No fun. No fun, my babe. No fun. No fun to be alone, walking by myself. No fun to be alone. I'm in love with nobody else. No fun, my baby. No fun. No fun, my baby. No fun. No fun to be alone, and by myself. Fun to hang around. I'm in love with nobody else.
Middle section. 2, 3.
Well, maybe I'm on, maybe I'm wrong, maybe call somebody on the telephone. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No problem. Take it away, baby.
Mr. Jones, let's hear what you got.
I got nothing.
Come on, you got to lead. Come on, show me some fingering. There you go.
That's it. No fun. No fun. Let's hear ya. Hold on. No fun.
Come on,
No
audience.
fun.
Come on. It's very easy. 2 words.
No fun. No fun. Okay,
If
louder.
I
this
can do
time.
it, anybody can do it.
No fun.
Nice harmony.
No fun. Louder, please. No fun. That's what I'm talking about. No fun. No fun. No fun. Thanks for coming, everybody. Hope you had a good time. Josie
Thanks so
G.
much.
Box, Carlo S. See you Monday. Bye-bye.